Today I want to take a look at the SharePoint client ID and client secret generate functions with a little research as to what the outputs are and how unique or how secure they are. How challenging would it be to guess a client secret? How secure are the client secrets? And really just what level of protection we're getting when we're using client ID and secrets generate function. Now, we assume these generate functions are random and that they have a fair level of security behind them. When we generate a client ID, that's going to be a GUID number. GUID numbers follow a specific pattern. And we even have online utilities like GUIDgenerator.com where you can say, all right, let's make 10 different GUIDs. And the function comes back and you're going to have output that follows this same pattern. Here's the results of the SharePoint generate button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments. Same pattern of a GUID number. It's a globally unique identifier. A 128-bit integer number used to identify resources. How unique? Well, it's big enough that if, let's see, that would be 1 billion GUIDs per second were generated for a year, the probability of a duplicate would only be 50%. Now that's kind of interesting. I never really looked into GUIDs quite that far. But yeah, I mean, the idea of making a billion GUIDs every second for a year, the probability of a duplicate would only be 50%. That's very powerful. So just being able to guess the GUID number is an uphill climb as to how SharePoint's creating the client ID and client secret. Yeah, a billion per second for a year. The generate function of the secret, that gives us something that's a little bit larger. The secret itself is going to have a length of 82. And what I find interesting is if we generate another one, and we generate another one, and we keep on doing the generate function, is there any matching pattern? Is there any similarity? Is there anything we can kind of derive by running this generate function in repetition? I mean, I think most of us come in here, we click the generate button once, we assume that it's secure enough, and we go about our day. But has anyone really sat down to do a little bit of research as to what the secrets look like? They always end with an equal sign, which I find interesting, and that gives it sort of a signature that that's the closing character. They always have the same length. They're always going to be the same exact length. I've selected 44 characters here, 44 characters. So they're always 44 characters long. Now, as far as the contents, we see a lot of uppercase, lowercase, numbers, a little bit of symbol usage, but not much. I mean, the only symbols really coming through are forward slashes. So let's say you're working with a 43 character long, and this is a fixed ending with an equals, right? Fixed ending with the equal sign. And that we're dealing with a length of 43 over here. That's what we have selected is a length of 43. And the character set would include upper, lower, numeric, and a plus symbol and a slash. Those are the only characters I actually see being used. So, what does that give us as far as the probability of uniqueness or how challenging it would be to guess? A 43 length string, upper, lower, number, and 2 symbols. All right, and then taking a look over at the client secret, this is 43 characters. It's going to have uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and 2 symbols, a plus and a forward slash. Now a length of 43 with that mixture, we can actually come over here to a couple different utilities. We're going to take the first client secret that was generated, and we're going to bring that into how secure is my password. In this service, how secure is my password, we can enter in a password, which in this case, we're not really using it, so putting it into the system I don't think is much of a concern. And here we can paste in the client secret we were given by SharePoint. And the response is that would take 13 unvigintillion years. Now that I didn't even know what that means. So I had to come over to Wiktionary and look up this particular word. and it is 10 to the 66th power, which is incredible. Now, Password Strength Meter has a similar service where we can take a client secret, go ahead and bring it over, put it in, and here it does come back, and you can actually turn on the visibility. And it says that we have lowercase, uppercase numbers and symbols, and that it's 43 characters, right? So that all matches what we were looking at. And the time it would take to crack your password is 8,000 trillion, 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 trillion years. That's the word trillion 5 times. So I think we're in a pretty good spot when we're working with client secrets. And the length of it, 43 characters, is key to making that possible. That every extra character we add is compounding and making it exponentially difficult to guess. I mean, the exponential combinations increase with length. Having a length of 43 definitely helps us out. So I never really looked into this very much. I'd always generated the client IDs and secrets, went about my day, but I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at how unique is a GUID, which we have a definition of now, and how long would it take to guess a 43 character password containing upper, lower numbers and symbols. So now we have a little bit more detail about the security that's given to us when we use the generate button as part of the appregnew when we're developing in SharePoint. And we're on the appregnew, we're creating a client ID, we're creating a secret. And the question really is how secure are these? And I think we're in a pretty good spot looking at the uniqueness of GUIDs, looking at the time to take for cracking passwords, and wanted to share some of that research with you guys because I thought it was interesting. Thanks for watching.